So in this video what I'm going to do is sort of complete the add, subtract, multiply and divide functions. I may add to this get value one as well. And then, and the show result one of course. Then I'm going to take you through maybe a little bit of further information on procedures and functions using what we have, and try to explain some of the terminology to you in a separate file. So let's get busy with add. What we need to do is have two numbers to add. So I'm going to say num1 is equal to, now this here, pretty much like get choice, gets a number from the keyboard, and like choice we need to return it back to whoever is asking for it, which is the add procedure. So I'm going to put get value. So number one is get value, and to get number two I'm going to do exactly the same thing. So I've just copied that and I'm going to paste that there. The beauty of functions and things is that we can do a lot of copying and pasting to lessen the amount of typing that we have to do. So I've got my two numbers. So number one gets a value, number two gets a value. Notice I haven't really said how I'm going to get the value at the moment. I just know I'm going to get a value and put it in there, and that it will be a number, definitely a number. Then I'm going to say, well, the answer is equal to num1 plus num2. So as soon as I've done that, I've got my answer. Now what I want to do is send my answer to this show result procedure, so that this procedure here can do all of the printing to the screen. So I'm just going to do show result and then in brackets answer, and that's the job done. Now the beauty of this is that if I want to do subtract, multiply or divide, I can use the same format. I want to get two numbers, I want to find out what the answer is and then print the answer. So I can just copy the values and paste them into the relevant subroutines. So there we go, I've just done that, and the only thing I need to do really is change the subtraction sign, change that to a multiplication sign, and change that to a divide sign. Now, as I said before, we need to use this get value, and it's going to be very much the same as this. In fact, let's decide to copy all of that, Control C, paste it into there. And the only difference is, because we're getting a number, we're not using raw underscore input, we're just using input. And I don't want to say make a selection, I want to say please enter a number. And that is my get value subroutine. The last thing I need to do is manage my show result. So in show result, all I need to do is print out the result. Let's type the word result there to make it useful. Now this is really where I want to sort of start taking a look at a bit more in-depth look at functions and procedures, because I am passing values and playing around with values, and I'm not really telling you why. However, that should be enough to have completed my calculator. The only thing I haven't got really is this calculate the choice, which we shall do in a couple of videos time. But I can run it. It's not going to crash. Well, hopefully not going to crash. There you go, but it's not going to perform any functions at all. Add, subtract, multiply, divide, and quit. Goodbye. But I'm not actually doing the job. And that's what I really want to talk to in the next video. But before I go there, one thing that I want to mention is that when I look at, or when I think about doing a program, I try to think in terms of subroutines. What action do I need my program to do? And that's how I started this off. I said I needed to show a menu, I needed to get the choice, I needed to calculate the choice, I needed to add. To do that, I needed to get some values. I tried to think in terms of sort of actions that it needs to perform, and those actions turn into subroutines. But when I do that at the start, I don't know whether I'm using a function or a procedure. Sometimes it's obvious, sometimes it's less obvious. But I want to show you a little bit more about subroutines and functions and passing of values, and in particular two terms, one called parameters and one called arguments, and maybe why we use them as well. So that will be in the next video.